Hello viewers, this is Shivbhadra Singh from Hajia Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, and today we are going to discuss about opioid receptors. Pain is one of the worst sensation a person can experience. Opioid drugs are most popular class of drugs used as painkillers. Example of these opioid drugs are morphine, heroin, oxycodone, fentanyl, etc. These opioid drugs are also known as opiates and they are isolated from the opium poppy. If we discuss about classification, then opiates may be natural like morphine, semi-synthetic like heroin, and synthetic like fentanyl. All these drugs can mimic the effect of peptides like endorphins, enkephalins, and dynorphins. The endorphins, enkephalins, and dynorphins are endogenous peptides that binds to opioid receptors. Similar to these peptides, morphine and other opioids can also bind to these opioid receptors. Opiates binds to these receptors for setting pain threshold and controlling nociceptive processing. Now coming to the classification of receptor. The classical classification of these receptors are mu, kappa, and delta. They are also known as MOP, COP, and DOP. In MOP, M stands for mu, O stands for opiate, P for peptide receptor. In COP, K stands for kappa, O opiate, P peptide receptor. In DOP, D stands for delta, O opiate, P peptide receptor. So classical classification is mu, kappa, and delta, and they are also known as, nowadays they are also known as MOP, COP, and DOP. And all these three receptors are G protein coupled receptors, sharing a similar 7 transmembrane topology, and activation of opioid receptors leads to a variety of cellular process like first, closing of voltage sensitive calcium ion channels. Second, stimulation of potassium efflux leading to hyperpolarization. And the third, reduced cyclic AMP production via inhibition of adenyl cyclase. Overall, this results in reduced neuronal cell excitability leading to a reduction in transmission of nerve impulses and inhibition of neurotransmitter release. Now, if we talk about these three receptors, then the mu receptor is responsible for majority of opioid effects like analgesia, euphoria, sedation, respiratory depression, and the mu receptor is found both in brain and spinal cord. In brain, it is located in cortex, thalamus, and preaqueductal gray. In short, preaqueductal gray is also known as PAG. In spinal cord, it is located in substantia gelatinosa. The endogenous ligand for mu receptor peptides called endomorphins 1 and 2 have only recently been found in mammalian brain, and these mu receptors are characterized by their high affinity for morphins. These mu receptors are subclassified in mu1 and mu2 receptors. The mu1 receptor has a higher affinity for morphine, mediates supraspinal analgesia, and selectively blocked by naloxone. If we talk about mu2 receptor, then it has a lower affinity for morphine, mediates spinal analgesia, respiratory depression, and constipating action. Now, what is the mechanism of activation for these receptors? The receptor consists of an extracellular amino acid N-terminus. The extracellular amino acid N-terminus, a 7 transmembrane helical loop, the 3 extracellular loops and the 3 intracellular loops, the 3 extracellular and the 3 intracellular loops, and an intracellular carboxyl C terminus. This is the intracellular carboxyl C terminus. The 3 extracellular loops of GPCR, that is G protein couple receptor, form parts of the pocket in which signaling molecule can bind to initiate a response. This is the pocket where the signaling molecule can bind. The G proteins are specialized proteins whereby the nucleotides guanosine diphosphate, that is the GDP, and the guanosine triphosphate, that is the GTP, binds to. They are classified as heterotrimeric because they contain 3 subunits. Because of these 3 subunits, that is alpha, beta and gamma subunits. When an agonistic ligand binds to the opioid receptor, here in the pocket, when an agonistic ligand binds to the opioid receptor, a conformational change occurs and the GDP molecule is released from the alpha subunit. This GDP molecule is released from the alpha subunit and can bind to the GTP molecule from the cytoplasm. And then what happens? And then the beta and the gamma, subunits will cleaved away from the alpha subunit. And now what happens? It inhibits the neuronal adenylate cyclase activity as well as increase membrane hyperpolarization, which relieves perception of pain and provide relaxation in pain. Now, if we talk about kappa receptor, then the kappa receptor mediates dysphoria via reduction in dopamine release. It is located in hypothalamus, preaqueductal gray, that is PAG, and claustrum, and in spinal cord it is located in substantia gelatinosa. They have high affinity for ketocyclazosin and dynorphin A. The dynorphin A is its indigenous ligand. Norbenyltorphimine is selective kappa antagonist, and it is subclassified in K1, K2 and K3. The K1 causes analgesia. The K3 mediates lower ceiling supraspinal analgesia. And here in the figure I have shown that it is also a G protein coupled receptor having 7 transmembrane structure. When different ligands binds to the pocket, then through the G protein it mediates anti-nociceptive, anti-pruritic and anti-addictive action. Now coming to the delta receptor. The delta receptor is located in pontine nuclei, amygdala, olfactory bulb and deep cortex in brain. Delta receptor in brain have a hallucinogenic effect and decrease gastrointestinal secretions. They have high affinity for LEU and MET enkephalins, which are its endogenous ligand. Naltrindole is an selective delta antagonist. And here in the figure I have shown that delta opioid receptors are also a G protein coupled receptors, in which here in the pocket the ligand can bind and mediate action through G protein coupled receptor, which produces analgesia, anti-Parkinsonian effect and antidepressant activity. Now coming to a comparison between activity of different drugs at different receptor, like morphine. Morphine have a strong agonistic activity at mu receptor, weak agonistic activity at kappa receptor and weak agonistic activity at delta receptor, and having an analgesic dose of 10 mg. If we talk about nalorphine, it is a strong antagonist at mu receptor, moderate agonistic action on kappa receptor. If we talk about pentazocine, it is partial agonist and weak antagonist at mu receptor, moderate agonist at kappa receptor and having an analgesic dose of 30 to 60 mg. If we talk about butorphanol, it is weak partial agonist at mu receptor, a strong agonist at kappa receptor and having an analgesic dose of 1 to 3 mg. If we talk about buprenorphine, then it is partial agonist at mu receptor, moderate antagonist at kappa receptor and having an analgesic dose of 0.3 to 0.4 mg. Naloxone is a strong antagonist at mu receptor, moderate antagonist at kappa receptor and weak agonist at delta receptor. If we talk about naltrexone, it is a strong antagonist at mu receptor, a strong antagonist at kappa receptor and weak agonist at delta receptor. If we talk about endogenous peptides like enkephalins, endorphins and dynorphins, all have agonistic activity at mu, kappa and delta receptors, which is either moderate, strong or weak at different receptors. So this is a comparison between activity of different drugs at different receptors. This is all for this lecture. Thank you very much for watching.